Okie dokie. Welcome to the first annual tier list of my videos that I have done during the year. So I'm hoping to do this every year going forward. I mean, this is my first year, obviously, of consistently putting out videos, be they covers or anything along those likes. And so, yeah, I really wanted to just keep it sort of yeah, just keep it going every year, and then just sort of use that to kind of track my own progress, how I actually feel, because this is going to be like purely on how I feel about the videos, not necessarily the reaction that they get, though realistically that does play a part, because if a video does do well, I am kind of more inclined to just be like, that was a good video. So yeah, hopefully we'll keep chugging along with that. And yeah, it's raining. We got a good atmosphere going here. It's not hot as hell like it has been recently in Australia. But yeah, anyway, let's jump into it. Pretty much what we've got here is the tier list at the moment. You know, we've got our S rank videos, A rank videos, B rank videos, etc., all the way down to F. So if you know anything about tier lists, you know, it is S rank is the best of the best. You know, any S rank videos that I have here, they are the greatest. Oh, you get out of it. I don't care about that. Get out of here. Get out of here. I don't care about your goddamn Bitcoin. Anyway, so S tier, best. F tier, probably shouldn't have put the video out. We'll get to that at some point. But anyway, let's crack straight into it. I'm just going to do them in order from whatever they randomize from top left down to bottom right. I didn't pick this order, so it should be fun just going through and just talking about the different videos and my sort of thoughts looking back on them, especially if they're videos from the beginning of the year. So yeah, cracking into it. First off, we have Mr. Invisible. So that was, I believe, one of the first videos that I ever did on the channel. And it was nicely received. This I managed to put this out before I was banned by gent shitposting. So I managed to put that out. And yeah, like, I am a big fan of Thank You Scientist, so I really wanted to do it. And I think that I did a decent version vocally, though this was the first video that I actually did with vocal removal with Moises. And so I don't like looking at that video too much these days, because it kind of feels like the way that I did the vocal removal is that the previous vocals are still kind of in it, but they're not really there. But they've still, it sounds like there's this weird like auto-tuney thing going on because my voice isn't the same as Sal's. And yeah, anyway, so from that perspective of how I sort of look back on the videos and just being like, oh yeah, I want to listen to that, or watch that video again. I kind of feel like that one is actually a bit of a C. So I think that that's a very middle of the road, like maybe a C, C or like a light B. I might change that before the end of the video, but yeah, for me it is a, I don't know. I think if I went and did it again, it would be a lot better. So there you go. There you go. All right. So next up, we have Vale of Maya, Viscera. So I have some feelings about this because I was so gung ho to do this goddamn cover that as soon as it came out, I just like smashed it for like 2 hours to get the actual take that is in the actual recording, or video, I should say. And oh man, I destroyed my voice. Like, I couldn't speak for like the next 2 days because I was just hammering it. So I feel a little bit of a way about that video. And I don't think it's my best either, just performance wise. And so, yeah, I'm feeling that that one was a bit of a. I have a feeling it's a bit of a C as well. Like, I don't think it is. I don't want to say bad or good. I just think it's a bit of a neutral video. It kind of feels like it was there. I'm still glad I did it because I wanted to do it, and I know I had people say that they enjoyed it. I still think I could have done a lot better. So yeah, that's just how it is. Anyway, C. Um, so Reptile. I'm just gonna instantly put that in S because that video just makes me laugh just every single time. So if you haven't seen my cover of Reptile, you should go watch my cover of Reptile. That's kind of what I think for a lot of people sort of put me on the radar of watching my videos. And so yeah, go watch my cover of Reptile because it's amazing, I feel. So yeah. And then on to the next one. Funnily enough, this actually did a bit of a line. I think it's shuffled up a couple of songs. But then it's kept some of them like in an actual pod. So Signs of the Swarm, which came, yeah, it's the collection by Signs of the Swarm during their what do you call it, competition? Yeah, their vocal competition of who would do the best version of the collection. And that actually went to another Australian fella, Kyle from Babarusa. Um, I don't actually know if he's in Babarusa anymore, but he won the comp. He won the comp with Signs of the Swarm, which is awesome. I at least from this got a shout out from the band, and Bobby from the band actually hit me up just telling me how much he enjoyed it. So that's a plus. That's a plus to me. That's a win. I'm going to take that. I'm going to actually put it in. I don't know, because it's funny. It makes me laugh, and I feel that the cut in it is amazing. But at the same time, it's nothing. It's nothing. I'm gonna put it in A because it makes me laugh. But it's nothing. It's nothing special. Actually, maybe B. Maybe B because it's nothing special, but it makes me laugh. Actually, no. It made me laugh so much, like I was in tears. So therefore, it's an A. Okay. So we have, yeah, The Heart Collector by Nevermore. So for me, this was a pretty emotional song. Massive fan of Warrell Dane. Warrell Dane pretty much sculpted a lot of how my voice is these days, or at least was like late high school, late teens, all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, he really sculpted my voice quite a lot. And so I felt like I really needed to do a good version of the song. And I feel I did. I don't think it's an S tier cover or anything along those lines, but I definitely think that just as a straight singing belting cover, I think it's probably one of my best, or at least one of my most polished because I have been singing that song for years. And so yeah, cool. Moving on. So Retrospect by Tesseract. I actually feel a bit of a way about this as well. I ended up having to pitch shift it because I'm not Ash. I actually had to pitch shift it. And so it's okay, but I don't think it's. I actually don't think it's that good of a cover. I think a lot of it is kind of pitchy, and I'm not really a big fan of it. Like if Viscera and if Mr. Invisible kind of sounded weird, they were at least like more or less like in the zone where I needed to be. This actually to me is a bit of a D. Is a bit of a D rank. I don't think it's that great of a cover. If I had my time again, I'd probably spend a bit more on it. So there we go. Hmm. And then we have You Suffer. You Suffer, but why? Yeah, You Suffer by Napalm Death, which was a tutorial as well. I think it makes me laugh. A rank, A rank. Go watch that one. That's awesome. I love that one. Erase Brett. Okay. So just because it's Brett, I'm gonna put it in B. I reckon it's still pretty good. Get out of it. Go away. I don't care. There's like a thing here. Anyway. All right. So context for this video. I still think it's good. I still think my version of it is pretty alright. Not the best, which is probably why I'm putting it in B as opposed to A or something along those lines. Some context around it. So, Booker or Booker, I believe is how you pronounce it. I don't goddamn know. Booker from Make Them Suffer went on Married at First Sight Australia, and I didn't watch it, but just context around it all that I got was that Brett, one of the like her partner or whatever you would call it on that show, was a bit of a dick. I don't know. Like, if you were to ask me what my actual opinion on it was, I wouldn't be able to tell you. But yeah, that's just how it was, according to a lot of people, and I got my information from there. And so I just recreated the lyrics as "erase Brett" and instead of "erase me." And I think it was pretty good. A lot of people seemed to enjoy it, and Booker herself was even like, "Holy shit, how have I not seen this before?" when she actually finally saw it. So yeah, that was cool. But I think the that sort of pitch screamy sort of stuff that they do in that, I think the choruses were fine, but some of the verses were a bit meh. So B for that one. All right, Roadie. I think that's a B. I think I did a fairly decent version of it. Though at the same time, I reckon I probably could have done it a bit better. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say about that song. There wasn't really any controversies or anything around it, so cool. Yeah, and then we have and then we have, if it's anything anywhere across here, it's just opening up that man. Oh well, moving on. So we have Thornhill's Reptile, which people kept asking for because they were like, do the other Reptile, do the other Reptile. And so yeah, we've got that, which I think is also a B. I think I did a pretty damn good version of balancing the screams and cleans and like still adding my own flavor to the actual song itself. So yeah, I think it's a very competent recreation of the song. I had a couple of people actually say that they thought that I would probably be better at doing it than the original singer. So I don't know about that. Like, you make up your own mind if you want to listen to it. But yeah, I reckon that was a pretty solid B. Alrighty, and then we have the very first video that I actually did for this channel, which is Vale of Myers Mikasa. And so this will always be very near and dear to me just because, like, it was realistically, like, when I was first starting to actually properly invest time into developing my screaming voice and how I was going to sort of express my own voice and like the tone that I was going to have and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel that I could probably do it a lot better now, like after a year. But at the time, I thought it was pretty damn decent. I'm going to slap it into a B. The main reason for that is that I think that while I did everything as a one take, like pretty damn competently, I actually screwed up at the start of the song, and I didn't actually realize until after I'd uploaded it, and by that time I was just like, it's too late. Which was the Two-Face a monster of which only I may conquer. In my one, I go like Two-Face a monster of which only I may conquer, or something. It's like Two-Face a monster of which only I may conquer. Whereas with my one, it's like Two-Face a monster of which only I may conquer, or something. I can't remember. I take a look at that and then took a look at the actual original one, but I screwed up the actual phrasing for that, and so it's still the same lyrics. It's still all that sort of stuff, but it's not the same. And so if I had successfully done that, I would have bumped it up to an A. But yeah. Anyway, Take This Life by In Flames. I think that's a bit of a C. Every time, go away. Oh man, does it happen down here? It doesn't. Okie dokie. So I'm gonna put that in C, just simply because this was before I started chucking like parts that were obviously not done all in one take by the singer, as background stuff. So I was just trying to slam like just all of these different vocal parts together, and this one I actually just like I could not do it without just getting visibly and audibly puffed by the middle of the song. And so yeah, I was just like like any of the later stuff after that going forward, I was just like, oh, if there's any stuff that it is obviously like overlapped, I'll put that little overlap in the background so that I can actually take a breath and keep the one take going correctly. Because otherwise it is just, yeah, you're just like, oh man, like just so huffed and puffed and stuff. And people said that they did enjoy it. But for me, it's like that being puffed and stuff was a bit like, yeah, not a fan, not a fan. But yeah, anyway, all right. So we have actually reached our first F. So Venus Doom. I should not have done this video. It is by far my worst cover ever. Arguably out of anything that I've ever covered ever. It was not in the right key for me. My voice was shot from trying to do a different cover, which I haven't done yet because it's hard, and it's still on the list, but which is doing all of the vocals for a particular Dance Gavin Dance song, which is still on the list. I'll get there eventually one day, but I need to just keep practicing it to get it all flowing nicely and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I leave it there as a sign of what I should definitely not do in the future. And also just because I spent the time on it, it's there. If people want to look at it and just be like, man, this is trash, I'm just going to be like, you are 100% right. And yeah. Anyway, moving on, we have Rats by Ghost. I think that's a C. I don't think it's a very particularly interesting cover. I don't think that I executed it poorly or anything along those lines. It's just that Ghost stuff have so many harmonies, except it's like the harmonies are so integral to the actual sound that it's like you need harmonies all the way throughout the song. And it's just like, I didn't want to do that because the whole point of the one takes is to show my competency as a vocalist live, essentially, to a certain extent. And so having having all of the layers and stuff all the way through the song, I wasn't a fan of. So I was just like, nah, I'm not doing it. And so that ended up making the cover just all overall inferior, I guess. And so it's by no means bad, but it's not my best work. So let's see. Alrighty, and we have Nails. You'll never be one of us. I think that's a B. I think I put my own sort of fresh spin on the song. I think I still brought the aggression and just added my own sort of flavor to the actual original track. And so yeah, I don't have much more to say about that. Like I think it's good. And then Holy Roller. That's a B as well. I think it's good. I think it's a very good video. But realistically, I'm a little pitchy in the certain part that it changes to, and then the screams in it are a bit strained, and so could have been better. I still think it's all right though. So B sounds good for me. All right. Next, we have Guest House by Daughters, who at the moment they are a contentious band for me, given recent information that's come out about them, or at least one member in particular, which is a shame because You Won't Get What You Want is one of my favorite albums ever. Yeah, it's a damn fucking shame. But anyway, Guest House. I think I did a pretty good version of it. I'm happy to sort of slap it in the B area. Like I think that I got the vocal removal better than to equate it to a C. I think I was able to put my own sort of spin on it as well while keeping the soul of the original song going. So yeah, I'm happy for it to be a B. I think B's are pretty solid. And then we have Master Exploder by by Tenacious D again. So that's so far the only video that actually features my partner Erin as well, who's doing like the call and response parts in it. Um, I think it's pretty good. I'm sort of happy to put it as a B. Like I think my vocal performance in it, I don't know when I will not goddamn do that. Um, I think it was good. I think the only thing that I would really change at the moment, if I was to redo it, is probably work a bit more on some of the sort of falsetto, the fries and the falsetto and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like listening to it, I'm just like, no, it's a pretty damn good version. So yeah, I don't think it's an A, but it's definitely a B. All right, Circle With Me. I think that's a B as well. There's going to be a lot of Bs because B for me is like a really just like, did I more or less get what I was trying to get out of it? A is like where I had a goal and then I like was just like, oh no, this is actually a pretty damn good cover. And then S just being like fucking god tier and all that kind of stuff. C being a bit below what I would like. D being like, yeah, maybe consider not posting that. And then F being like, I shouldn't have posted that, I suppose, going forward. All right. And so, yeah, my cover of Circle With Me, I think I needed more time to practice the song a bit. Like, I think it's fine, but I did it literally like 2 days after the song came out. And so I was just busting to just be like, yeah, one of the first fucking Circle With Me covers. Um, and so yeah, like I think it's a very competent version of it. I just feel that like if I had stewed on it a bit more, practiced it a bit more, it would have been more polished. Um, or not necessarily a bit more. Yeah, but yeah, more polished. I think it's polished, but it's just it could have been more polished. So there we go. Alrighty. So my cover of Demolition Lovers. So to me, that is an A. I feel that with that song, I went into it being like, yep, this is one of my favorite My Chem songs. I'm going to sing it faithfully to the original while adding my own sort of feel to it, which I did. I did, but like I feel that the transitions between the screams and the actual emotion that I managed to get out of that song was palpable. All of this sort of stuff is like super narcissistic, I guess you can sort of say, but also you need to be able to self-reflect on this sort of stuff and identify when you have done stuff right and have done wrong. And I feel like I'm pretty happy to give myself a pat on the back for my cover of Demolition Lovers. Like I think it's probably one of the better slash best ones out there. And so yeah, like I'm happy to slap that as an A. And now we have Counting Worms. A. S. Counting Worms. That's one of my favorite ones. So Counting Worms was amazing. I feel that it was almost the same as Reptile, but for like the hardcore scene a bit. Like I posted that, whereas like Nails was people just being like, "Damn, that's like a fucking a hot take on like some power violence, like hardcore songs and all that kind of stuff. Like really like how you sort of did the vocals for that as opposed to the original. This fucking Counting Worms was just like putting some humor back into the hardcore scene a bit, and people seem to absolutely love it. And so, yeah, just because of the success of it, I'm is it actually an S though? Like, is it really an S? I need to ask myself, is it really an S tier track? Um, I think it's actually an A. I think it's more so an A than an S. Like S is the pinnacle, and you need to be able to differentiate between something where you've done really well versus something that's like a fucking magnum opus. So yeah, we'll go with that. All right. So Protest the Heroes Wretch. That's a B. That's one of the first. Once again, I think that's the second video that I ever did for the channel, and I think it was really good. But at the same time, it could have been better. Like that was again like sort of early on and when I was like really finding my voice with transitioning between cleans and screams, which I'm a lot better at after a year of the channel going. Um, H2O. But at that point, I was sort of like not the greatest. So yeah, I definitely got there, but I think that I could have done better, but I didn't do terribly. So B. All right. Muramasa. That to me is a C. Um uh giving myself the middle finger there. All right. So, yeah, I'm not happy with the fries, the actual the belted fries in that. Pardon me. Pardon me. Yeah, I'm not very happy with the belted fries in it. I feel like I probably needed to practice those a bit more as well. Because they are, yeah, not fantastic, unfortunately. Whoop, there's some fucking pictures. Yeah, they're not fantastic. They sort of do the job, but they're not great. So could have been better, and well, could have been better, and it should have been better. I suppose that's where C is. It's like it could have been better, should have been better. And so yeah, that's where that is. All right, Chiron, the first collab that I did with my boy Lance. I think that's a B. I think we did good. I think we might have been able to do better, or we could have like structured it a little bit differently. But no, I think it's good. I think it's a good clean cover. And yeah, like easy said. All right, so S. This is the the To the Hellfire breakdown is the majority of the reason why anybody actually even knows who the hell I am. And so I don't think I need to speak too much on this video, apart from it is probably my best video. From the standpoint of sort of getting across the kind of person that I am. It's got it all. It's got screams, it's got cleans, it's got fucking humor. And yeah, it got attention from the band, it got attention from the singer, it got attention from lots of people. Unfortunately, I it didn't get picked up on YouTube so much, but the Facebook video fucking blew up with tens of thousands of views and all that kind of stuff, which was fantastic. And so yeah, that's it. Next we have Limp Biscuit. I think that's a C. I think if I had screwed around a bit more with the transitions during the fucking a pack of chainsaw, skid your ass roll, and then another thing goes going this way, I just might break your fucking face tonight. Like if I had screwed around probably with the transition there, it might not have sounded so goblin-y, I guess, or something like that. I don't know if goblin-y is the right word, but That's what I'm going to use at the moment for it. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it. I suppose, like, could have been better, should have been better. And then we have Holy War. That's an A fucking track for me. I underestimated how goddamn hard Holy War by Thy Art Is Murder would be. I mean, to me as well, not being a deathcore vocalist and generally not doing full songs, just full screams. It was like just hard to do, just baseline, just hard to do. Just off the bat of like not having like the muscle memory and all that kind of stuff to proficiently go through the entire song as just full screams and all that kind of stuff. Plus the fact that I was wearing so much armor and that helmet. I don't know if you've tried to do scream or sing like in a helmet like that. It is hard as hell. And I think I did a fucking great job considering all of that. And I'm a little bit pissed off that it got nowhere near the attention that I feel that it deserved. But what do you do? What do you do? Anyway, Eskimo Callboy, hyper. I think it's good. I think Hyper was a good representation of, whereas Take This Life was a show of I was audibly and visibly puffed. That Hyper was I was fucking puffed, but I managed to keep it together and like get it through. And so I feel that was a good representation of doing all of the parts in a song, but managing it to the point where I could sort of get it without looking like I'm struggling hardcore. Like it does, to me, it does. Like if I look at that video, it looks like I am sort of, I'm reaching some limits and all that kind of stuff, but I think I did a good job. So yeah. Alrighty, so if my eyes do not deceive me, this is the divisive. I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway, the vocal contest for that, it was good. I thought it was good. I mean, obviously because the band is smaller, like not a lot of people even cared to sort of take a look at it. But the people that knew the band and like all that kind of stuff, and the people that actually watched it enjoyed it, and I think I did a good job of doing the cut and all that kind of stuff for it. So yeah, I think it's a B. It met expectations. Yeah. Alrighty, Contraband. For me, Contraband is like a weird part where I feel that it should be like a middle point between. I should have done this in Photoshop instead of on here, but I kind of like the idea that it would snap in. Contraband was good. I feel it was real damn good. I feel that my range of screams on it was like a good demonstration of like how well how much I'd actually progressed, I suppose. The cleans were a bit, which is maybe like they were fine, but they were nowhere near as good as like some of my other songs. So that's maybe where it slips into a B as opposed to an A. If the cleans were up there as well, like I'm like the ending where they want you to. With that, I feel that I got it where it needed to be. And so I was really happy when I actually did the take and I managed to like get that where it needed to be and just sustained and just fucking brutal. And so I was just like, yes. And people seemed to really fucking like that cover for some reason. Probably because of the mixture of like being Walter White and stuff like that for it. So if I could, it would be like a B plus. And so yeah. B plus if I could. If I could put it in the middle, I reckon that's like a B plus. Alrighty, so Cowboys from Hell. That is a B. I think it is good. Actually, no. I feel it's an S. I feel I did very well with that video. the transition between like I reckon the way that I was doing Cowboys from Hell was actually really fucking cool, and then transitioning it into Everybody was fucking awesome. And it also had automaton and shit like that in it. Nah, put a rank video. I reckon it's great. It didn't get enough attention as well, I feel, but what can you do? All right, so Murderbin. I think that's a B. I think that's the same line as like Hyper Hyper, where I got the screams and the cleans to the point where I was keeping it all together, even though I was getting absolutely wrecked. Which is the way with any of these songs where they have a screamer and a singer, and they've got the two and they just sort of switch over. It's very hard to do both parts without it sounding overlapped or something like that, I suppose. And yeah, it is what it is, but yeah. And that brings us to Polaris Masochist, which I feel is a C. A C light D. I would almost put it as a D, but I still feel that it has a lot of good about it. But that's another song where I think that was like the third song that I ever did for the channel. And yeah, just doing the transitions between the cleans and screams, and I was getting puffed like hardcore. It took me a couple of days to actually get that sort of down. Like I actually practiced it and was happy with it. And then when I was actually doing the recordings, I was yeah, just getting absolutely wrecked towards the end of the song, especially because again they've got the clean singy boy, and then they've got the screamy boy, and then they trade off, and then everyone's all hunky dory throughout the songs because they just keep trading it off. But yeah, I feel like if I was to do that again now, it would probably be better. I would hope it would be better. But yeah. Anyway, I think C is good. It could have been better. It probably should have been better. Before posting it, but here we are. Like, yeah, whatever. C. All right, so Tell All, the vocal audition, which I was just like, I feel that this is a B, because it was fun. I did the actual song to a certain degree and then switched it over, and I thought it was good. I thought, yeah, the transition and everything was good. And yeah, I feel like all the pieces were kind of okay. My fries weren't fantastic, but I still think that overall it was good. Hmm. Below. Hmm. This one's a hard one because I think that I did a very good job, but I think that it was also within expectation of how good of a job I was going to do with it. I do feel that's probably one of my better ones. One of my better vocal covers, just simply from showing my proficiency with clean vocals. Realistically, I don't think that you would find like Narcissism Time. A little, I don't think that you would find many other singers that could do it better than I can do it, just simply because we're in the same sort of vocal timbre and all that kind of stuff, and range. So yeah, I reckon that's an A. I reckon that's an A. And then we have Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga. C. I can't. For me, when I was doing it, I got it to the point where I could get it sort of sounding more or less okay. Fuck me. Yeah, I got it to the point where it was like possible. But yeah, if someone was like, "Oh, do a one take of Baba Yaga," nah, it sounds so weird. It not being so fucking low, like Alex does it, and so yeah, I feel like it wasn't. The screamed parts were not that good, not great at all. So yeah, I would say C. If I was to do it, I would Yeah. If it was just the song, that would be in a D or an F. But because it has the switch over, it's that's what saved it. And then we have Dancing in the Dark. That's a B. I thought it was okay. I probably could have done a little bit better, but it was all right. Like it was within expectations of how I thought it was going to go. But yeah, like not really much else to say about that one. It's like pretty run of the mill sort of. Whereas Below was like a shining example of like my cleans. That one was like a bit of a what is the word that I'm thinking of? What is the word? It was a bit of a yeah, like oh yeah, this is to be expected about doing this song. Like I think there's probably a lot of better versions that people have done for it. So I probably should have added the harmonies and stuff into it as well. But yeah, whatever. Alrighty, so now we have my version of Lifelike by Gravemind when I was doing this is a serious audition as well, which unfortunately I did not get. But I think I outdid myself with that cover. I added my own style to it. While keeping it faithful to the recreation and like it pushed every single like part of my voice to a degree, like maybe not so much my cleans, but my I had to practice quite a bit for like for my screaming sort of side to be able to recreate the sounds for that song, and I feel that I outdid myself a bit. And like yeah, I had people saying that I was a shoe-in pretty much, and then yeah, unfortunately I didn't get it, but that's okay. I still love the band. Yeah. Next we have Vox Populi, which came after Lifelike, because I was actually going to do Vox Populi before they were like, we're actually looking for a singer. And I was like, oh shit, okay. Damn, shorty. And so yeah, Vox Populi I felt was very good as well. But I kind of felt there's a couple of parts that I probably should have practiced a bit more for transition wise. Trying to think of it off the top of my head what one of the parts are. I think it is the part before the second chorus. Where it is oh wait, oh no, it's I think it was one of the ends of the I'm calling from the back seat. And it was like that, and then I'm driving off the edge. I'm trying not to blow anything up at the moment. From that to that, and it was like the transition I felt was not great, and so it feels a bit weird. I'll still listen to it and I'll just be like, yeah, cool. Because and I'll come back to this again as well, is that I feel that listening to stuff that you have done and sort of being able to appreciate where you've done well and where you fucked up is like really important, because otherwise you won't identify with your own voice or with your own mannerisms and all that kind of stuff, like what is actually good and bad. And so yeah, I feel it was a B. I think it was within how I felt it was going to go. And so yeah. And next we have my cover of Antivist, which is D. Um, there's a lot of parts in that song that I feel like I should have prepared more, or I should have mapped out a better way of doing. Actually, funnily enough, it's like almost like two flowers of life. Fucking here. Yeah, like I should have. Yeah, I should have really practiced a bit more in terms of some of the different parts, and like restructured how I was doing different parts, because some of it was kind of mediocre. So it actually was dollar store Ollie Sykes a bit. So yeah, there we go. And next we've got the moves, which I think is a bit of a C. I think I could have done the talked parts a bit better, like the summer mood, hot sand under my feet. That part I reckon I could have done a lot better. But when I was doing it, I was like, man, I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do this. Like, um, but like as doing it as a one take, they would have like you've got to manage like where you are on the mic and all that kind of stuff to get like the different tones and all that kind of stuff and the different volumes between your songs. Oh no, your differences in volume from the different voices that you're actually creating and projecting and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel like I probably could have done that a bit better. Yeah, I reckon C is probably a good space for that. All right, Alpha Wolf, Akudama. I reckon that's a B. A lot of this stuff is just a B because it is within where it was going to go. Yeah, I think my streams are okay. I think they're sufficient. I don't think they're fantastic. I think they're sufficient. I think the cleans in the certain clean part could have been better, but I still think that they're within everything within that was funny and it was good and all was right with the world when I did it. So I was kind of expecting more interaction from the actual band themselves, more interaction being more than 0, but yeah. All right, next we have In Due Time, which is another B. Using a different mic. Just came back from 2 weeks off from being, I think I was sick. Was I sick? Oh no, I was redoing the studio. And so I couldn't actually do any recordings or anything along those lines. So yeah, I couldn't actually do anything until I got that done. And so yeah, I think it was all right. Like I think the screams sounded like kind of thin through that mic, but the clean sounded really good. So yeah, there we go. Cool. B, solid B. The Bad Thing. So that is another one of the videos that actually I feel put me on the map with a lot of people. Because yeah, I don't know. I kind of fucking smashed that cover. It is IMO any bit as good, if not better, than the original song. And so yeah, like for a one take, I feel that I absolutely slammed it. And I had people pretty much just messaging me saying like that was compared to anything else you've done, like next level. And so yeah, I feel that from a combination of people following me and like really appreciating like my being able to switch between the cleans and the screams and all that kind of stuff and getting the different tones and my clean voice, the power of my clean voice as well. Plus like my actual performance and like how that actually all went. That was, I don't know. To me, that's an S tier video for my own channel. So there you go. All right. Next we have the acoustic version of Over and Out. That Rowan from 12 Foot Ninja, who I'm currently waiting to see how my audition went. At the time of filming this video, I have submitted my audition to be their new singer, and we'll see how that goes because I'm super goddamn keen, man. But yeah, like Rowan did a acoustic version of Over and Out, and I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And so I was just like, I'm gonna get my fucking grubby little mitts over it and just do like a sort of stripped back, like a vocal version, and vocal cover over the top of that rather than the actual song itself. And to be quite honest, I listened to it again after I put my audition in to be their vocalist, and that is to me it is an A tier video. The range that I go through in that song from the for me it's like the male and female, like between Nick's parts and Tatiana's parts, and then the additional like falsetto parts that I put in different spaces and stuff. My goddamn vocal range in that song is fucking amazing, and I feel that not a lot of people actually appreciate that. Narcissism, but yeah, I feel that like not a lot of people actually appreciate that video in particular, because I feel that it was, yeah, like pretty damn good, but whatever. What can you do? All right, so Chelsea Grin, Dead Rose. So I feel check out other Mighty Leaf 2021 video tier lists. No. So I feel that I feel that that is a B. I feel that Dead Rose is a B in that, and I feel that that is almost a compliment in a way, that I'm not a deathcore vocalist generally, or at all, I should say. And so to be able to do that entire song to the point where I had a handful of people actually say that they prefer my version to the original, that is within, I suppose that is above expectation, but also this is the grand scheme of, like, if I was to say it would be A, it would be like, to me as well, I would also just be like, man, I smashed that. So it's like A is like, if everyone is like, yeah, you smash it, is an A. Or at least for me, like, I need to believe that I smashed it. Whereas with Chelsea Green, I think I did okay. Like, there might be a couple of places where I think could be fixed up, but overall, I think I did a pretty good job. So B. All right, next we have You Should Consider Having Sex with a Bearded Man. So I'm actually going to put that in C, because a lot of the falsetto parts I feel I should have done better in. And being that they are a central part to the song, I feel that, yeah, I should have been able to do them better. As opposed to like where they how they actually were in that video. Take a look for yourself. Let me know what you reckon. But to me, it's like the falsetto parts in that song, I reckon, being that that's sort of my bread and butter, like I feel that it could have been better and it should have been better. All right. So next we have Undead Ahead 2 with the Halloween goodies, where I wore a green suit, a green morph suit, and then I had a green screen, and I just green screened everything out but my head. That is actually going to be a C, funnily enough. The cleans to that in that are nowhere near, I feel, the level that they should be at. I feel that I should have been better at doing those cleans. And so yeah, like it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, if I could, I would have. I would have cleaned up the cleans a bit more, because they're a bit. They're not my greatest work. And there's also a couple of different parts where I didn't really change up my voice enough with like the screams to actually have it be anywhere near the level that the original song is. So I reckon it's a C. I could have done better. All right, so Don't Stop Me Now. I think that's B. I think from like how I would do a Queen song, that's a B. And yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about that. Like, I think I did a good version of it, but I think it could have probably been a little bit better. But yeah. All right, Linkin Park's Numb. That's a B as well. I think I did a pretty damn good version of that. People seem to think I did a good version of it. I don't think it's anything spectacular, but I think it was pretty damn good. I Am the Highway. Once again, I think that's a B. Like, these are pretty easy because it's like they're just like as within expectation. Yeah, like, I think it was good. Don't really have much else to say. Bohemian Rhapsody, I think that was good as well. I don't think it was the best cover of it that is out there, but I still think that I did a pretty damn good version of it. I didn't really feel I could put too much of myself into it, though there is definitely some Martyisms in there. But yeah, I think overall it's a pretty decent cover. Dio's Caught in the Middle. I think that's a good cover. Like, I think that I did that pretty damn well. Especially for like just that sort of very me sort of side. I think I hit the expectation of where I wanted it to be. Yeah, nothing much else to say about that one. All right, so the Mariah Carey is All I Want for Christmas from You. I'm actually going to chuck that in C. Or am I? I'm going to ponder that for a second. because I think that it was good. Nah, actually, no, it's a B. It's a B. I think everything was in its right place. Like, everything was in its right place. I wasn't trying to do Celine Dion Part 2 or anything along those lines. I still think that it has good parts in it, but it's not about the parts that I'm kind of having a bit of an issue with. It was about the you, which I think I did pretty well. Like, I think it got to the point where I felt that it should have been at, and so it could be better, but it was at least at a space where I'm kind of happy to just be like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I'm fine for that video to just keep chugging along. Like if someone viewed it, I would be pretty happy with them just being like, yeah, this dude's a good singer, and then that. So yeah. Anyway, Bite to Break Skin. I'm gonna put that in C because to me it is actually a very boring cover. Um, and I should have added harmonies and stuff into it to make it a bit more interesting. And the screams at the end are a bit one note. Like I could have made them more interesting and shit like that. So yeah, I think C for that. I need to do more Census Failed, but yeah. Anyway, Blood and Thunder. Blood and Thunder is actually a D. I feel I should have practiced that quite a lot more. Because yeah, like the guitar work was sloppy, the vocals were sloppy. It's not necessarily an F like Venus Doom, but it's still not fantastic. So yeah. Anyway, Atlas. Atlas. I think Atlas is Atlas is a B. Especially for actually no. I'm gonna put it into a C because I should have pitched Atlas down. Because there were so many places where I was reaching, like straining my actual voice. So I feel like I should have pitched down, much like Retrospect. I should have pitched it down and then yeah, just really strongly hit those choruses because I feel that yeah that they weren't at the place. Like though I know a lot of people actually really enjoyed it. For me it's like I should have pitched down and then just like really belted those fucking choruses. So yeah, yeah. Um, Bleeding Mascara. I'm a bit torn in that it's okay. Hmm. I think it's a C. Like I think it's not D tiered, not great, not going to listen to it ever. I did listen to it the other day before I started putting everything together for this video. And there were a lot of places where I was like, yeah, I could have done that better, but I don't think that it's in any way a detriment. Like, because D, detriment. See, I wouldn't really want people looking at these too much. I suppose these here, I don't really want people watching. I'm happy with people watching up here, and it's just like, yeah, it's just the more happy I would be for people to watch this stuff as opposed to anything else. Um, and so yeah, I think that is where I've sort of got it because like I think it's fine. I think it's fine. I could have done it better, and I probably should have done it better, but I think it's fine. So, yeah, which leads us to the last cover, um, that I did on my channel, or at least actually, sorry, this isn't the last cover. The last cover that I did on the channel was Mariah Carey for Christmas. The last cover that I have on the list, I should say, is Glassjaw's Ape Dos Mil, and to be honest, I actually think that that is an A. I think I fucking smashed that cover. I think that my cover of that fucking song is better than the original. Like, I don't care. You can quote me on that. I don't give a shit. Um, I think that the way that I performed it is better than the original. I think I still kept the swagger while also just being a better singer than old mate. His name escapes me at the moment. I can't remember. Anyway, um, And yeah, like I think it was good or great even narcissism. And so yeah, I think that was good. I think that I did a very good job on that. And so yeah, yeah, I'm happy that. Hey, so that brings us to this is the tier list. This is my tier list for how I feel that my videos went. At least my covers. I didn't want to add in my reviews or lessons or anything along those lines. Because I feel that they're their sort of own thing, and it's a bit hard to actually stack them up against each other because obviously they're different. Like the reviews, I'd be stacking up how well I actually did the review, which is hard to put up against covers and stuff like that because with the cover I can easily be like, all right, um I am basing this off of I'm basing the ranking off of um the actual original song itself and my personal perception of how I should be able to do it or how well I can actually do this song. And so yeah, I feel that I feel that just doing the covers was probably the best thing. And yeah, so you know, I'll chuck the link in in the description and all that kind of stuff. Would love to see how you feel that my tier list of videos actually goes. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Shoot me a message or anything along those lines, or or add a comment with your link or like a screenshot or something along those lines, and send it through to me because I would be very interested to see. Whether you're just like, hell nah, man, like you've got your entire tier list all wrong, and I'll just be like, no. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if you want to see more of this sort of stuff. I'm hopefully going to be doing it each year. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do another one, or if you want me to do a tier list of something else. Because I love tier lists. I think they're really cool. Especially if it is something like, oh, do a tier list on this band's like albums and stuff, and I'll just be like, hell yeah. But yeah, cool. That's it. Have a fantastic rest of the year. And yeah, I'll catch you later. Fucking peace, peace, peace.